All right, folks, couple of funny things that happened over which I put together. The first is this bhashan by the Prime Minister in Hyderabad, obviously Telangana is going up for elections, there's all the election rally. It's another matter that he hasn't got time to go to Manipur. But here's the thing, and guess what? As this Hindi commentator says, ke, atki hui tape, and I say broken record. The same thing about Bhrashtachar. He said the same thing about Parivarvad, Bhrashtachar. Parivarvad, I'm not sure where it goes with Jayant Shah, who's appointed as BCCI president, having no experience, Jyoti Scindia, Jitin Prasada, and even Narayan Rane's son, Ajit Pawar now, and Bhrashtachar. So he goes on about Bhrashtachar in both the rallies. In the Hyderabad rally, he talks about Bhrashtachar against the Telangana and KC Rao. And in Madhya Pradesh, in Bhopal, he was talking about Ajit Pawar, right? Ajit Pawar, 70,000 crores. And guess what? The next day, they break the NCP news, and the NCP now, and he's the deputy chief minister of a BJP-led government. Essentially, BJP manufactured government. Bhrashtachar, Parivarvad. Where are we going with this? And I like the way finally Tavleen Singh, who I think who's got her entire life shattered because of how she's been let down by Modi, writes, what the laundromat cannot do is revive the high ideals and shining values that defined Modi when he first campaigned to become Prime Minister. He seemed in those days to truly be refreshing, new kind of leader, a man who would bring back the idealism that has been so absent in the men who have entered public life in recent years. It is his tragedy and ours that he has shown himself to be just the same as everyone else. He is just another politician cut from the same old cloth as the others. I would say, Tavleen, he is far worse, right? And like I said, while all this process is going on, Manipur continues to burn. Yesterday, the Supreme Court hauled them up, and the center said this: 142 dead in Manipur clashes till July. 4th center informs Supreme Court. 142 dead. How many people in camps? We don't know. But these are three very troubling questions about Manipur crisis, as written by Karan Thapar, aptly put. First, why has N. Biren Singh not been removed as Chief Minister after 65 days? His inability to handle the situation or possible incompetence is surely beyond question. The second point I want to raise is about an incident at the end of June. A mob of around 1,500 people led by Methi women, probably members of the Mera Palbi group, surrounded the 3rd Army Corps camp in East Imphal and forced the release of 12 Methi militants belonging to the Kanglai Yawol Kana Lup. Think about this, what a disgrace for the Indian Army too, right? The paradox is this happened just after the Hindu reported that Biren Singh was told by Home Minister Amit Shah to reach out to the cookies and be bipartisan. At least one BJP MLA in Imphal appeared to be doing exactly the opposite. My third concern is not just distressing but disillusioning. For over 2 months, Manipur has been deeply troubled. We've had arson, mob violence, targeted killings, and now a ghastly beheading. Yet our PM has said nothing to say in public, except, like I said, broken record, Bhrashtachar, Parivarvad. Okay, Mizoram CM can't keep quiet. Manipur's situation is worsening, and in Manipur, BJP claims to be its own government with one MLA. Manipur cop shoot at mob trying to loot arms, one killed. 2 months later, no one able to douse raging Manipur fire. Cop among 4 killed, Manipur on the boil. Student killed in Manipur, crossfire sparks protest. Congress slams US envoy for Manipur remark. The US envoy finally stepped in. And this is going to get worse, like I said. Armed groups clash. Naga Forum calls for peace. 3 killed, 4 injured in Manipur's Bhishanpur, Churachandpur area. And what we are having here is the Naga says, please don't draw us into this conflict. If they got drawn into this conflict, we got problem. And like that, the entire northeast is on the boil, starting from Meghalaya. It's going to come down to Arunachal and Assam too, right? Tripura House devolves in chaos. And then we had this peeing incident where people have really made a caricature of BJP. Is this high caste Brahmin peeing on an Adivasi, right? The joke going around town is that suddenly next day, photo op, while you're calling Rahul's shooting process in the farms in Sonipat as camera GB. You forget about how Mr. Prime Minister got his pictures taken, and there were many cameras while he was meeting his mother. Who does that? And then you have Shivraj Chauhan, who's seen washing the feet of a gentleman who's supposed to be the guy who was peed upon's father, because that guy was a youngster, right? And that guy apparently now has come to town and said, I was told by the police that please come, we are sorry, and he's saying nothing happened to me. So apparently he wasn't even peed upon, so they got the wrong guy, right? Man urinates on tribal labor, MP CM tells police to invoke NSA. Slap NSA on man seen in video urinating on tribal space, Shivraj. CM apologizes to tribal victim after row over urination case. So urination case, but look at it this way. This guy was having pan bahar or what, chewing tobacco outside a pan shop, and he was dragged in by the cops saying sorry. But things that the mindset, because MP is the Prayogshala of the RSS and Manohar. MP 6 arrested for thrashing, parading two Dalit youths. Dalit strip thrashed in MP, video goes viral. MP PM CM washes feet of tribal man who was urinated on, NSA against accused. Now here, that's the funny part, right? It doesn't wash away your sins. This is the worst possible thing a human being could do, is treat another one like an animal. In fact, a person will not even be caught being on an animal because he doesn't know his private parts may get chopped off. You know what I mean? But in Karnataka, looks to order probe into 40% commission charge against BJP government. They should nail them. And then you have this 40% of India has a rain deficit, but Northwest has 64% surplus. So a huge loss to agriculture. I am talking to people farmers in Punjab and Haryana. The 64% surplus is inundation. Standing crop destroyed. BJP MP proposes 7 years jail, 10 lakh fine for fake news. But what is fake news? Is my question. Is this, like, for example, he said, HC, what are the boundaries of fake, false, misleading? Now look at, I tell you another incident that I want to talk about besides this Peshab Gate, is the Tomato Gate. Tomato Gate is like this. This one fellow, there's a picture going viral of a vegetable vendor with chilies, tomatoes and all that, with two big PSOs standing there and making a caricature about the mehengai. He says now you need armed bodyguards to protect against theft, and it's like, don't touch chilies, don't touch tomato, and he's been dragged in by the cops. Like, not that guy. That guy apparently was from the Samajwadi Party. He's not. He's absent. But the poor guy who actually, some Narayan, who actually owns the shop, and his son have been dragged in by the police, right? And like I said, GDP is what we should be worried about. Shrunk by the pandemic. GDP of the world's most advanced economy sliced by the pandemic. And like I said, we keep going to town about the fastest growing economy. And this graph should tell you why. Just look at this graph. That India's economy dropped 23.9%, and that's the highest amongst all countries. And China actually grew at 3.2, and the rest were all there, right? And the other big thing was the way Supreme Court is coming up with a number of decisions that are going to come up now, right? Which are going to shake this government. One of them is obviously Maharashtra. Then there is about the ordinance in Delhi. The bigger one is, it seems, is going to be the Rahul Gandhi Manhani case, which is like it's injustice of all kinds, right? Gujarat High Court refuses to grant Rahul stay on conviction. No stay on Rahul conviction. HC stresses purity in politics. HC, this is like, can you imagine? I cannot believe the words that were used, right? HC directs, but the Jharkhand NC on the other says, HC directs no coercive action against Rahul. And this fellow, who has now absolutely no use and doesn't even know whether he's going to win a seat or get a ticket in Bihar. BJP holds court ruling says Rahul is a chronic offender, has feudal mindset. This is what Ravi Shankar Prasad has, feudal mindset. What's happening in Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, is your typical feudal mindset. SC, like I said, big decisions coming up. SC notice to center, LG on Delhi's government plea over ordinance. And then the joke about UCC. Will it ever go through? What is it that they're trying to do in UCC? It's a uniform civil code. It's open to, or has to be true for all religions, right? Will bring in UCC soon, but not in haste, Dhami, after meeting Modi, okay? But then the government assures tribals, Christians may get UCC exemption in Nagaland. So now you're carving out tribals and Christians. You're going to have to carve out the tribals in the rest of the country too, right? Because they don't adhere to. But what happens to the Hindu undivided family? And the big plot, like I said, Bhrashtachar. There is absolute mayhem and havoc in Maharashtra. Nobody's in government. So all this thing about break and shake, because eventually it's the ground reality. After NCP's entry, BJP varied may get fewer seats to contest. Between BJP and Shiv Sena, BJP is better option because of its winnability, stability, says Patel, because he's been washed. Because there's this lovely ad. Somebody's put this out as Modi wash. Like, what is this? And you know, Anjana Kashyap, who is a die-hard bhakt, couldn't stop herself from asking Sudhanshu Trivedi कि ये किस तरह का in ABP News किस तरह का washing powder है sir, ये बताइए, because it's very difficult even now for Godi media to get up and defend it, right? Disquiet in Shinde camp, BJP as Ajit Groups joins Maharashtra government, expected to get worse. Back to square one for Shinde faction if Ajit gets finance. MVA constituents to fight unitedly. Unrest grows in Sena, calls party meet today. Sena, Hindutva, all-encompassing. BJP's poisonous, says Sharad Pawar. Let me say in both cases, Uddhav Thackeray, they broke away, but the people are still with Thackeray, and the MLAs that they've got are useless. Same thing is about to happen with Ajit Pawar, and Chhagan Bhujbal is going to be the biggest loser. Trust Sharad Pawar to launch a fierce fight back, says Prithviraj Chauhan, and the best part was Rahul Gandhi going to meet good old Sharad Pawar right after this happened. NDA wary of our unity, relying on tricks to create confusion. There's tricks to try and create confusion. Well, for example, everybody keeps saying about Sappa, the media, then Jayant Chaudhary, and now there is obviously in Bihar too. Are we reviving ties with BJP SAD leader as asked Sukhbir? He says party has to decide. He has no choice. But NDA is back again in play. So can you imagine? Full circle. Chirag likely to get birth in Modi cabinet, and it's not going to help him anything. Not at all in the other place. But look at the brilliant RSS stuff, right? No Deen, no Iman, no Rashtravad. DRDO scientists shared details of missile drone system ATC with accused of the Pak-based guy, Babe. They used to call each other Babe. This is an RSS guy, man. Can you imagine this? And then we have this, like I said, this is a dud deal. In India works to firm up deals to procure Rafale jets for the Navy. Dud. I say dud because it doesn't serve the purpose of Atmanirbharta. It's going to absolutely throw us into the same chasm as it did with Russia, because French product doesn't have a global market, folks. Just remember that. Without that, there is no possibility of transfer of technology because it can't be commercialized. Foxconn pulls out of 19.5 billion chip plan with Vedanta. Government asks it to set up an independent unit. Again, trouble. Brij Bhushan molested, stalked, liable to be prosecuted, punished, Delhi police. Finally, charge sheet details accounts of 15 witnesses who corroborate allegations, right? And when you say this, and I realize this Neerja is, like I've always said, she really has not got her ear to the ground. Shrinking Sharad Pawar, splitting NCP holds seats for BJP's 2024 plan. Self-destruction, Miss Caution, self-destruction. Centre claims backing of non-BJP states to stop sale of FCR rights, and there is no taker in the e-auction. Can you go figure that, folks? Ever since the change. And then here's a quite slap on the face, right? Zanzibar campus to be first IIT with a woman director, right? IIT. Guess who set the IITs up? Where the brand name came up? Why don't they get some university out of Gujarat to set up in Tanzania? Will they be invited? Absolutely nada. No. I am Ahmedabad, yes, but NIT Ahmedabad, yes, but not your Gujarat Institute, whatever. But key is, you got to remember, most of your foreign policy achievements have been because it's a process. It's not just suddenly because somebody came in and did that. 3 cheers, Jai Hind.